Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds, hang out with this nerd.
Ted.
And today we're going to be doing Dungeons & Dragons Do's and Don'ts, The Quest Giver.
You want to jump down to the description below, you can sign up for Nerdarchy the newsletter. It's a great way to get gaming tips as well as learn how to game with Nerdarchy.
So, The Quest Giver is basically been in the game since it's begun, and I think it's been even further brought to the fore with MMOs and not tabletop, but video game RPGs even more so, where literally that's
There's a guy with the exclamation over their head.
Yeah, literally that's their only purpose in life.
Right.
Is to give the quest.
They're going to stand there and they're going to issue some kind of mission or quest thing for you to do.
But there's definitely some ways where you can go right and you can go so terribly wrong with the quest giver in your games.
I agree. Making them force the players to do something tends to make it more railroady, and players tend to buck against that a lot. And from my experience, you know, I've seen times where, like, well, I'm tired of doing this. I'm going to try and counter you as much as possible. Yeah,
so you know, you can have a quest giver NPC with a strong arm, but you don't want them to be strong arming your PCs.
Right.
So the strong arm really is a metaphor for making an NPC that's compelling that the characters want to interact with. Mm-hmm. The best quest givers are going to be the ones that PCs really like. They're drawn to them, and they genuinely want to help this person with whatever their problem is, because then the player has become engaged with that non-player character you've introduced into the game.
Correct.
The best way to create your quest givers is not to actually create them as quest givers, like to let them develop in your game as you go along. Obviously, in the very beginning, you're going to have to, if that's your methodology for putting your adventure hooks in, you're going to have to, create them. But, after that first, second session, you should already have maybe your players interacting with some of the NPCs in your world. Mm-hmm. And whatever ones they gravitate towards, make some notes about that. And, if you can figure out or just ask them what they liked about those NPCs, again, make sure you make some notes about that as well, so that you can further elaborate on those and bring those to the bear even more. Because once your players have kind of raised their hand and been like, I like this person, or I like this creature, whoever they are, whatever it is, it doesn't make a lot of sense for you to make up new NPCs and then try and have them, cram an adventure down their throat.
Indeed.
When you can just use these ones that they've already said they like and enjoy interacting with.
And you don't even have to go so far as to actually create them. In my game, one of the NPCs in the early days of the game was actually created by the players. It started off as we want to go to the place that's got the good bread. It was just a cast-off statement. Well, it built. Well, after the second or third time that people mentioned the good bread, I said, where is this place? What is this place? And they named it. All right, well, they just created this baker, and all right, now I've got a location. And they kept going back to this guy. Every single session it came up. So it was like, all right, well, I could do something with this. And at one point in time, it's like, something happened and the guy's not there. So the players were able to, what's going on? It showed that they had interest in this character, and I didn't have to do anything about it.
Yeah, a good quest giver will really just pull your players right into your world. So, like I said, a good idea is just to introduce a lot of different NPCs, and don't do a lot of work on them. Like, you could jot down a sentence, really, right?
Elven female, shopkeep, name, whatever.
Right, maybe some distinguishing feature or characteristic, right? And just kind of shotgun them at your players throughout, their travels and their adventures. And when they gravitate towards them, like we said before, just make a note of that. Be like, oh, okay, they seem to like that person. We'll use that person a little bit more. Right. And then this way, you don't have to worry about creating a bunch of NPCs that aren't going to get used. And you can build them as you go too. Like, every time they interact with them, maybe something else comes out about that NPC, so you just make a couple of notes.
Right.
Or that you're going to have that NPC show up again. So, you might have something you plan on introducing into the session that time. But again, your players are already interacting with these people. They already enjoy them. So, you should utilize them as much as possible. You might want to do, like, if you want to have a quest giver, like, early on, like session 1, and you decide that you're going to start your adventure in a certain town or something. Be like, well, you might tell one of your players you're visiting old family friend here, and then you may let them name them, give their occupation, give some details so that they can get some player agency, some player buy-in into that NPC.
Yeah, it's always good to weave a character's backstory in some way, shape, or form into that first session, or even character goals. Something that's going to make at least one character, if not multiple, have a reason for being there and be wanting to actually help out this person.
Right. And, if you can give them the feedback into doing that, so much the better. It might be part of their 15-page backstory. I don't even know. But, I don't know. What do you guys think? How do you guys use quest givers in your game? Do they have exclamations over their head, or are they true fond friends of your PCs? Let us know in the comments below. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe.
You can check us out over on Facebook.
So until next time,
stay nerdy.